Hey Ravens fans, this is Happy Purple Friday. Happy first day of the fall, and here we are. The Ravens are going to play the Jaguars this Sunday at 9:30 in the morning, so you will be able to watch it on Yahoo for those of you who don't live in the area. If you want to watch the game, and so getting right into it. This Ravens team now trying to go for the third straight win against the Jacksonville Jaguars now. And, they're playing in London for the first time and the whole Tower of London Ravens thing, the lore and stuff. So they kind of have some fans there, I think, in the city. But for the Ravens in this game, what's going to be key, I think we get right into it, is we look at the injury to Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams will not play in this game. He did not travel with the team to London. So he's going to sit at home and get that ankle rested up. They did say it's day-to-day, so, we don't know for sure when he'll be ready, but I'm pretty sure they're letting him rest up to get into that Steelers game. We're really going to need him. So they want to go, especially as a home game. They want Brandon Williams at 100%, especially going against Le'Veon Bell and those running back there in Pittsburgh and trying to take down Ben Roethlisberger. But this game decided to keep him home, so that means Carl Davis will come into the game more as a starting nose tackle, and he's going to provide same amount of production at least, and they're going to have to go against a good running back in Leonard Fournette. He's a rookie. He did say, I think, in week 1 or at least in the preseason, that he felt like the speed wasn't that fast for him, and he felt comfortable with the NFL speed. So I think this is going to be a true test for that Ravens defensive line with Brent Urban. You're probably going to see Kafusi out there to try to see how well he can hold the rushing attack. Now, Leonard Fournette is not an outside type rusher. He's going to run up the middle. He's going to do a lot of draws, a lot of dives, those kind of plays, a lot of blast plays up the middle. And they're going to test Carl Davis early. I know they are. And what that really is going to affect is everything else behind him. So if Carl Davis is not able to at least push the middle and block lanes for against Leonard Fournette, that means Patrick Onsuar and C.J. Mosley are going to have to cheat up and stay in that box, and then it means it's going to leave the middle of the field wide open for their tight ends and other wide receivers to get open, which means Tony Jefferson and Eric Weddle also have to cheat up. That leaves Brandon Carr, Marlon Humphrey, and Jimmy Smith on the outsides on islands, and then that would also test the secondary. So that front line is going to be a base for how this defense is going to play in this game. If they can get pressure on Blake Bortles and stop the running attack early in this game, it will be all systems go for that defense. It'll be fine. It's really going to test the depth of this defense and how well these defensive linemen are. Brandon Williams just got the big deal. I know he feels bad about getting himself hurt and out of this game, but it's time for these guys to step up. I guess guys like Carl Davis, who was on the bubble at the end of preseason, wondering if he's going to get cut or not. So this is opportunity to prove that he still belongs in the NFL, and opportunity for Kafusi, who was hurt last year, to get some more playing time. And Brent Urban, he was a all-star, I think, in the preseason, so he's going to get his opportunities as well to play. Now, they do have great pass rushers. You got Tim Williams. You got Tyus Bowser. Zadarius Smith, I think, is questionable for this game. He may play, he may not. It's going to be a game-time decision. We'll know more, I'm pretty sure, by Sunday morning or at least Saturday night to find out if he's playing. Campanaro is also listed on the questionable list. And we also know Marshall Yanda is out with a fractured ankle. So, as I said, for the defense, it's going to be crucial for that defensive line. That's where it all starts. That defensive line is going to have to hold the fort, because if it allows Leonard Fournette to get off and start getting big runs, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Now, I don't think that the Jacksonville Jaguars offense is explosive by any means. Allen Robinson ended up, I think he tore his ACL or his Achilles tendon. I can't remember which one, but that's their best wide receiver. He's out. Julius Thomas has not been the same kind of tight end he was in Denver. That's only because Peyton Manning's not there. So I do believe that while they may give up some plays that defensive line can't hold, it's not going to be to the point. It may be like the Browns game where it won't be to the point where they're going to be blowing this Ravens team out. So going like the offensive side of the football, I think you're going to probably see a little bit more of what we saw the last 2 weeks, where they're going to run the football at least 30 times this game. Probably in this game. You're going to see Buck Allen. You're going to see Terrence West. Now, he was listed, and he didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday, but he was back in practice today. He may have had the flu or something like that. But Alex Collins, I think, even though he fumbled the ball last week, he ran really hard. Those 4 chances he got the ball, I think it was like 4 rushes over 42 yards. So I think he's definitely earned some more playing time, and rightfully so. I mean, even if Harbaugh probably wanted to put him in the doghouse, he can't, only because he doesn't have another running back. They only have Buck Allen, and they have Terrence West. So they got to keep Alex Collins there as that third back. So I think that 1-2-3 punch, if they can hold up, will be definitely paramount and keep that going again. Now, Mike Wallace has addressed this week that he wants the ball. He feels as though he's not getting enough opportunities to make plays. He's a diva wide receiver. He was like that in Pittsburgh. He's like that in Miami. He's going to want chances to get the football and make plays. So I do expect Marty Morningwig to, as a coach, you love to hear that from your players, that they want the ball. You want to hear your players say they want a chance to, make a name in this league and make their presence felt on the field. So I expect early on you'll probably maybe see some reverses, some end arounds, some crossing routes or things like that, where Mike Wallace will have opportunities to go ahead and run down the field. Now, I'm not sure if Jalen Ramsey or remember the other cornerback is going to be covering him, but he's going to definitely get, I think, they're going to let, going into the Steelers game, this will be a tune-up game to see if Flacco can get it down the field. We haven't really seen him test the down the field throws just yet. We've seen a couple 20-yard, maybe 30-yard passes, but we haven't seen any really 60-yard bombs, 50-yard bombs. I expect to see that this game. Perryman, Macklin, and Mike Wallace, I think, will get opportunities to go down the field, and they're going to test him at least early. Now, if it's one of those games where there's going to be like the last couple of weeks where the rushing game is going to dictate everything and they put up a few scores and the Ravens defense gets a few turnovers, then it'll be like that. But I think early on they're going to want to see these wide receivers have to be able to get down the field. They got to be able to attack multiple ways, because there at some point they're going to be the defense that's not going to be able to allow them to run the football. So they got to be able to throw it. I'm not saying throwing 30, 35 times a game, but if they can throw efficiently from 20 to 25 times, that's perfect. They still have to keep running the football, even if they're not getting a lot of yardage. You got to be able to keep the defense their Ravens defense off the field and rested, and keep pressuring their defense as well. Now, with Marshall Yonda out, there's going to be some jumbling on the line. I think they're going to get Bergstrom to play his spot for the remainder of the season. But we're going to see. Like I said, I think the defensive line is going to get tested with Williams out, but he will eventually be back. But that offensive line is definitely going to get tested. Calais Campbell for the Jaguars has 4 sacks already. He's just like Suggs. Suggs has 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. So Calais Campbell is going to be coming, I'm not sure which side he's going to be on, but he's going to be coming for Joe Flacco. And they're going to be ready to look at that right guard position and sending blitzers, that way to try to test Bergstrom to see if he can handle the pressure. So I would have to expect for them, the Ravens, the way they've planned so far, to plan for that. And that means there's going to be some dump-offs. So that means that, guys like Collins West and Buck Allen are going to probably get some catches this week. You're going to probably see the tight ends more. You're going to probably see Max Williams if he's ready to go. I think he's questionable as well. You're going to definitely see Ben Watson get some throws. But I'm pretty sure you're going to see a little bit more crossing routes. You're going to see Flacco have to get out the ball a little bit quicker this week, just because you're not sure how that offensive line is going to look. So I think the first couple series, the defense is going to fill out that Jaguars offense, and then the Ravens offense is going to fill out that Jaguars defense to see what works and what doesn't, and then kind of get into what's going to work for this game. So it's not easy losing your star players, but it's a little bit easier when you got to play the Jaguars. Now, their first, if the Ravens do win this game, I do think, them going at this point 3-0, a lot of people are like, well, the Ravens are 3-0, but look who they beat. They beat the Jags, they beat the Bengals, they haven't won a game yet, and the Browns haven't won a game yet. So their true test is definitely going to be that Steelers game. Right now, you would have to believe it's the Patriots, and then it's the Steelers. Number one and number 2. So the Ravens can go and beat Pittsburgh. It's going to probably be a tight game. I'll get to that, next video for Pittsburgh's for Steelers Ravens week. But this is a game where I said this is a tune-up game for them. They need to go ahead and they need to assert their dominance and assert it early in the game, and just don't put any reassurances in the Jaguars players' heads that they can possibly win this football game. So the defense has got to do what they've been doing and play run-stuffing defense and just get interceptions when the ball gets tipped in the air, make plays. Eric Weddle especially, all the cornerbacks, everything like that. So, and like I said, this offense is going to have to put some points on the board too. We want to see this offense. Like I said, we've seen in the past, they've kept these games a little bit too close against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we want to see the Ravens open it up finally. Open it up against these guys. Now, if the Ravens are up by 20 going into the third quarter, I'd have to assume they're going to go, our guys are going to run the ball 70% run, 30% pass. If we have to pass, if we need to pass, we will. But if we don't have to, we'll just keep running the football and running that clock out. Just because we're not afraid of that offense. Blake Bortles may not last in the game that long only because he may make some turnovers and get pulled from the game. So I have to, and then like I said, their best receivers out as well, and their main weapon, Leonard Fournette. So the Ravens defense is able to shut Leonard Fournette down. It should be easy sailing for this team. But going to my prediction for the game, I do think the Ravens will win. I think the Ravens will pit up. I think I did in my post. I think the Ravens, I said 20 to, if I'm not mistaken, 9. I think 20 to 9. Only because I'm being conservative, only because of how they played the last 2 weeks. So I'm thinking that they may play the same way. Like I said, they go up by 20 points early. They may just go ahead and just cruise like that and allow them to kick field goals for the rest of the game because they know they won't be able to catch up. But it's possible the Ravens could open it up and put up 30 on these guys. So the Jacksonville Jaguars do have a young defense, but they do have a young defense. So even though they're fast and they're athletic, they do make mistakes. So against a veteran, receiving group, you got Mike Wallace, you got Macklin, you got Ben Watson. So I think against a veteran pass catchers, they'll find a way to, make plays over the middle and down the field. And then they also have to watch out for Miles Jack, the linebacker there. I think he's extremely athletic. He's a player I think the Ravens should have drafted, but they, I guess, went against it. So, watch out for him in the middle of the field, too. Watch out for Flacco needs to watch out for these guys. We want to see a little bit more from Flacco like we saw last week, allowing a little more of the sugar huddle stuff when he's coming to the line, allowing them at least more than 10 seconds at the line to go ahead and make adjustments if he needs to instead of rushing just to hike the football. So that's my prediction. I think the Ravens will win 20 to 10. I said it could be more, but I'm keeping it conservative only because of how they've played. It's overseas, so time differences and things like that will be different for these guys. So that's my little spiel for right now. So hopefully the Ravens win. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube videos as well, and my Instagram as BigTime1208. That's my Instagram, and my Twitter page is MyWillsTheGreat. That's MIWELS. The Great, TheGreat. It's my Twitter handle, and Facebook as well. So see my Facebook. It's just Smiles Hill for Facebook, and that's my prediction and my spiel for right now. So if you have any comments or anything else, please leave them below. And I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully after our Ravens victory, it will be 3-0. So go Ravens, and everybody have a happy weekend. All right, peace.